to lose weight, the water is very important because when you metabolize fat, your water takes it through your lymphatic system, through your liver, out your urine, feces, and sweat. And I compare the lymphatic system to like the gutter system on the house. You know, the gutter takes the water away, but when there's leaves in the gutter, it doesn't work. And so there's a type of food that causes inflammation and mucus in our body. I've put the list up there a couple of times on my channel, so if you want to go see it, it's a list of mucus-forming foods. Things like dairy, any type of milk, things like banana, mayo, ranch, blue cheese, any creamy soups. And the thing is we were so accustomed to drinking milk all our life. And see, what happens is we're the first mammal or only mammal to drink another mammal's milk. We're the only mammal ever to be weaned off of milk and go back to milk. And the cows are eating herbicides, pesticides, fungicides. They're injecting cows with hormones, so kids are going through puberty 5 years earlier. And see, when I was young, the milkman would come to our house and you only had a little bit of this mucus-forming food, this milk. And now I call it the pus and mucus aisle. You go there and they have this type of milk and that type of milk and this type of yogurt and ice cream. And so the list goes on and on, you know, different creamy dressings. And so things like cheddar broccoli soup. And so what happens is your lymphatic system is like the gutter system on the house. And there's only 3 ways to lose weight: pee, poop, and sweat. Unless I cut your arm or your leg off, you're not going to lose any weight any other way. And they all have one thing in common, and that's water. Because there's a saying, if there's not enough water in the canal, the boat's not going to flow. And so typically when you want to drink water, you want to drink room temperature water and not cold water, because our body needs to stay at homeostasis, 98.7. So you put cold water in the body, it's got to turn around and warm it up. And so the energy you'd be getting from the water is being turned around and used to warm that water up. So you want to drink room temperature and you want to have filtered water. Our tap water these days has more chlorine in it than you're supposed to swim in your pool. And I liken it to like having wrapper on the bread. You know, the wrapper on the bread's to kill the bacteria, make sure nothing happens to the bread. Well, that's why they stick the chlorine in the water, but you take the wrapper off the bread before you eat the bread. And I have patients say to me all the time, well, I don't drink the water. And then I ask them, well, what do you shower in? They're like, tap water. Showering in tap water is 8 times worse than drinking it, because your body's semi-permeable. You're just becoming like a toxic sponge. Not only that, that chlorine turns into a gas and it goes up into the air, and so you're breathing that. So you want to make sure you're drinking filtered water. So what happens is when you drink water and you metabolize fat, the water takes it through your lymphatic system, through your liver, out your urine, feces, and sweat. Now I compare the lymphatic system to like the gutter system on your house. The gutter takes the water away from off your roof, and when there's leaves in the gutter, it really doesn't work. Now there's the type of foods called mucus-forming foods, and that's anything that's creamy or milky. Okay, what happens is the body can't assimilate to that, and so it's got to do something, so it just like sticks it somewhere. And that's where stones come from, cysts, goiters, tumors, fibroids, fat. I mean, think about it. I don't know if you've ever watched liposuction done on TV, but after they're done sucking all that fat out, they got this big jar of fat, and it pretty much just looks just like milk. And so what happens is your body gets all clogged up and you can't lose weight. And what happens is most people are drinking only milk or mucusy drinks all day long, and they're drinking no water at all. Now, the rule of thumb is you're supposed to drink half your body weight in ounces of water. So, unless you fall outside your normal body fat range. Normal body fat range for a man is 10 to 18%. For a woman, it's 15 to 25%. So you need to get on a scale that weighs body fat and water hydration, and that will tell you. Because when you stand on a scale, how do you know what you're weighing? You don't. And a gallon of water is 8 pounds. So you could go up and down 8 pounds a day, and that scale will make you go crazy. So when you weigh yourself, you're actually weighing 4 things: muscle, bone, fat, and water. And fat is the lightest of them all. Muscle's a lot heavier than fat. Bone's a lot heavier than fat. And water's heavier than fat. So how do you know what you're weighing when you stand on your scale? So now what happens is, let's say you're overweight. And if your body fat is above 50%, that means you're morbidly obese and your weight is killing you. So when people have low water hydration, they have high fat content. And then when people have high water, they have low fat. And they never talk about water in any of these weight loss programs because they can't make any money off of water. But water is the most important thing when it comes to losing weight. Okay, so you really need to start, if you want to lose weight, you're supposed to drink your body fat, your body weight in ounces of water. And I have some women come in 300-400 pounds. There's no way I would drink 400 ounces of water. And then they come back a week later, they're like, oh my gosh, Dr. House, not only did I drink all that water, but I was still thirsty. Of course you were, because you're dehydrated, and that's why you're overweight. And so what happens is you start losing size before you're going to lose weight. For the women out there, I always say, would you rather lose 5 pounds or 5 dress sizes? Obviously 5 dress sizes. To us men, we don't really know what that means. But what happens is your clothes will start fitting looser probably before you start actually losing weight, because you need to put water weight on, and you're going to start getting more lean muscle, and hopefully you're working out so you get more bone density, and the fat will start coming right off. So I always laugh, because what's the first 3 letters in diet? Die. And that's actually kind of what happens when you are on a diet. You're not eating right. And see, if you learn to eat right, you'll fall into your normal body fat range. So water's number 1. And once again, to lose weight, you need to drink your body weight in ounces of water. Now, if you do any caffeine, for every cup of caffeine you do, you need to add another cup of water. If you're doing any type of medication, over the counter, under the counter, not herbs, not supplements, but drugs, every time you take it, let's say you're taking 6 different pills and you only take them twice a day, that means 2 more glasses of water. And then you also have to add water when you do alcohol. So once again, you're going to drink your body weight in ounces of water, and then you need to apply. Most people who are overweight have never drinking that much water, so it's going to be really tough to start drinking that amount of water. So what you want to do is you want to find out how much water you can drink in a day comfortably. So let's call it 5 cups. So on Monday, I want you to drink 5 1/4 cups that day. By Thursday, you need to be up to 5 1/2, and by Sunday, you need to be up to 6. And then on Monday, you go 6 1/4, Thursday, 6 1/2, Sunday, 7. And so what happens is, as your water goes up, your body fat's going to come down and you're going to lose more weight, and you might not even ever make it to the actual weight and ounces of water because of the water you're drinking. Now, you don't want to drink a lot of water after 6 o'clock at night because you'll be up all night peeing. So, but you're going to be doing a lot of peeing and pooing. So just know you're going to spend a lot of time in the bathroom. So that's one of the most important. Okay. The next thing you need to do is people think they can lose weight without working out. You're going to have to find some type of cardiovascular exercise you can do. And people go, well, I walk. Well, walking isn't really exercise, and it doesn't help you lose weight unless you're walking up and down hills or walking up and down stairs. You actually need to be huffing and puffing, and you need to be sweating. Okay, and so I would do that 2 days a week to start off, and then you want to try to get it up to every other day. Okay, and so a lot of people go, well, I do this work and it's like I'm working out. Well, the definition of working out is 3,000 more steps after what you do during the day because your body is used to it. And so muscle confusion builds muscle. So that's why if you're riding a recumbent bike or doing a stair stepper or an elliptical, you need to put it on random what's going up and down and up and down. And then what's going to happen is you're going to hit what they call the wall. And what that means is you're exercising and all of a sudden your lungs are on fire and you feel like you're going to have a heart attack. And that's the wall. And most people stop there. Well, what you need to do is when you get to that wall, you want to keep going, but you slow down and catch your breath, and then you go back, and the next time the wall will be farther, and then eventually there'll be no wall. And so that's very important, okay? Another aspect is eating the right type of foods, okay? You want to not eat 3 times a day and have 2 snacks a day. That used to be the old way to eat, but we're not living in the old days where we're not doing as much manual labor. Things have gotten easier for us, so you can really get away from eating about twice a day. You could do 2 snacks. Now, there's a thing called intermittent fasting, and a lot of people have heard of that, but they really don't know the exact definition of intermittent fasting. So intermittent fasting means you're only going to eat once a day, and it needs to be between 1 to 4 o'clock, because the word breakfast means to break your fast. Now you got to understand, you've got all this fat on your body, and fat is stored energy. So you're going to have energy. The problem is you're probably going to get hungry. So you're going to have to do something about that. And a good way is to drink water or chew on some gum. With the water, you can disguise the taste of water if you're not a big water drinker, where you can do like 20% juice or whatever, then 80% water, not half and half. You can drink the sparkling water. You can also, when you're doing this intermittent fasting, you could have a protein shake made with water, no type of milk, almond milk, soy milk. It's just mucus-forming, and that's going to plug up your system for 12 hours.